I'm now pleased to introduce our incoming Board of Supervisors Chair for 2017. Sonoma County Supervisor Shirley Zane took office in January 2009. Prior to her election, she served for 10 years as CEO of the Council on Aging. Supervisor Zane serves on several countywide and regional boards and is a member of the Healthy Counties Advisory Board, is Vice Chair of Aging on the Human Services and Education Committee, and serves on the Veteran and Military Service Committee, all under the purview of the National Association of Counties. Supervisor Zane has been busy this past year creating housing for our most vulnerable homeless veterans, seniors, and disabled. The Palms Inn opened last February, providing housing and supporting services to over 100 individuals, and her pilot project, the Veterans Village of Tiny Homes, is expected to offer new housing early next spring. Supervisor Zane also serves on the county's Shanate Properties Ad Hoc Committee. The supervisor views this opportunity as a legacy project. Her vision is for development that complements the surrounding neighborhood and provides benefit to all Sonoma County residents. Please join me in a very warm welcome for the incoming Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Shirley Zane.
Had him get me a little stool because I said, can you get me one of Barbara Boxer's boxes? Because these podiums tend to be built for men that are 6'1", but I noticed that they've lowered it since I was last here. So I'm not going to fall off my stool today, and you'll all be happy to hear that. And it's been a hard week with these floods, but when I just ran out there, I saw the sun shining through the clouds, and the rainbows are about to break through. And we are a pretty special county, the way that we support one another. And I wanted to acknowledge somebody in particular over this last week, and that is our Director of Transportation and Public Works, Susan Clausen, for those roads people who are out there 24 hours a day, working on our roads, picking up trees, doing just, phenomenal work. Susan, stand up back there. There she is. I talked to her earlier, and she said those guys just are not sleeping. It's just round the clock type of work, and it's truly amazing. Thank you, Ben, for that introduction, and thank you to all the staff at the Economic Development Board and your wonderful interns. They make this such a wonderful event every year. And it's not an event that I ever take for granted, because it really is a time for all of us to get together and for you to hear what government is doing for you, and for us to say, the work that we do is important, because at the end of the day, it's all about public service. And we get a chance to listen to you too. And there are things that we all acknowledge in government that we can do better, and there are things that we are doing well, but we can all do better. And more importantly, it's a time to reflect and to celebrate. And when I was looking at some of those charts, and I was realizing the last time I was up here and we were just pulling out of the recession, it was 2012, and unemployment was over 8%. And now it's half of that, at 4%. And so that's something to celebrate. And I just want to thank all of you for your part in that, because but from our educational institutions to our family businesses, to the big businesses that have decided to stay here, to the new businesses, that really speaks to the type of innovative, energizing, forward county that we are. Thank you. We're going to clap. I was just saying to James that I always feel like these should be more like not a political rally, but more like a sports rally. Yeah, we wave the napkin. Yeah, it's good. All right, 4% unemployment. Oh, wave the napkin. Well, one of the Anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge, before I go into a little bit about the work that we're doing, but I wanted to acknowledge my colleagues, because we all do it together. And so Supervisor Susan Gorin, Supervisor James Gore, who's vice chair this year, welcome Supervisor Linda Hopkins. Again, you've been baptized with Truly Water this last week. and then my senior colleague on the board, not senior, but okay, you're almost there. Debbie Rabbit, no. He smiles. And for those of you who don't know, and I believe you probably all do, we have a brand new county administrator, Cheryl Bratton. Would you just stand up because you do all the heavy lifting? Cheryl is not only an attorney who has worked for us for, I think, over, 25 years? 25 years. She's 25 years as an attorney for the county, can you imagine? But she's also got an MBA, too, so she does know business, so we're very happy about that. So most of you know that I'm a leader with a lot of passion, and I fight really hard for the community, for those who are, especially for those who are most vulnerable and really struggle to live and work here in this beautiful place we call home. And if you've ever stopped by in my office, you will also know that I love to paint. And one of the things I like about this form of art is that it really starts with a vision of what you want to capture in your mind. And then there's a lot of determination. And I know that with each brushstroke, I'm just one step closer to creating something beautiful. In 2017, with that in mind, I am asking my colleagues, and when I say colleagues, I don't just mean the people that I introduced down here, but I also mean our council members and our mayors, because we have to work together with our cities if we're going to accomplish big things. And I'm asking you to sit with me in front of a new canvas and muster creativity and determination that's going to tackle some really important priorities. I'm asking you to bring your paintbrushes to the table and get ready to create. No, build something big on that campus. Carl, thank you for the shovel. Build, baby, build. And yeah, we're gonna clap for that. We gotta build. Okay, now I gotta put the shovel. There is less than a 1% vacancy rate. Here's the sober reality. Our community is in desperate need of housing. With home and rental prices soaring, we can't deny the need, and especially to house the affordable homes. A $500,000, $500,000 home is simply not affordable for young people, for teachers, for our first responders, our healthcare workers, which you noticed the healthcare workers and service employees are growing the fastest, among many others. We just simply don't have affordable housing. And I agree with you that as long as we're a great place to live, people are going to want to live here. There's no doubt about that. But can we do a better job in terms of building housing for everybody and creating it? I absolutely think so. So in 2016, we're going to build on this collaborative work and this thing that the county has released called the Building Homes Toolbox, which is basically a guidebook for policymakers that provides an understanding of the needs, and then it really identifies some of the opportunities to end homelessness in Sonoma County by 2025. We hosted recently a summit. There were over 400 people there who came together for the whole day. They were nonprofits, government entities, business people, community members, and we were all there for the very same reason. We wanted to get more roofs over more people's heads and provide affordable housing and to end homelessness. And we're going to launch several of those actions in this next year that you will see. There was a lot of work that took place in that one day. And I am particularly proud of two substantial housing efforts, and the first one is the Palms Inn. And Jenny Lynn sitting there right behind me, Holmes from Catholic Charity. Jenny Lynn, it's great to see you here. She texted me last night, she said, "This is my first state of the county." I said, "Oh, that's awesome." The Palms Inn now houses 104 formerly homeless seniors, veterans and disabled. I was fortunate to lead the Palms Inn project, which really was a collaborative partnership between the City of Santa Rosa, Veteran Affairs Office, Catholic Charities, and the county. It was one of those projects that reminds me that sometimes, large bureaucratic entities take a long time to do anything. So it's that big ship, and then we got the fog also, right? But if we all work together with that same vision and we feel that sense of urgency, and there was real urgency. Last winter was cold, it was wet, and I kept reminding our staff that for every day that we delay these permits and getting this place open, there are over 100 people, of which over 60 of them are veterans that are out living outside in this weather. And would we want one of our children to live in that type of weather, or anybody that we love, or ourselves? And no, we didn't, and so we came together and we did it in less than 5 months, which was nothing short of a miracle in the world of government. It's important to remember that there are huge community-wide benefits that we all get when we provide for people's basic needs for shelter. I spent a little bit of my afternoon yesterday with the Santa Rosa Chamber of Commerce, and really the topic of the day was how are we going to deal with the homeless in downtown Santa Rosa, and how they're impacting businesses, and whether people want to come there, and how are we going to build housing? What's it going to take? So I'm proud to say that we are looking forward to new affordable housing in Larkfield and in Santa Rosa and in Sonoma Valley, and we're looking at changing policies so that we can really address those needs and to do things a lot more quicker too, because there is a sense of urgency. And while we're also building housing, we're going to be building more of our parks too. Our regional parks tax measure didn't pass, but we're going to go back out to the community soon, along with our cities this time. And the truth of the matter is that Sonoma County is so desirable because we have community separators, we have open space, and we have lots of incredible parks. John Muir once wrote, "Everybody needs beauty as well as bread. A place to play in and a place to pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul." Having outdoor places is an important part of a healthy community. And in 2016, regional parks added to Hood Mountain, protecting a crucial wildlife corridor to the Mayacamas Mountains. And regional parks also opened the newest segment of the Bodega Bay pedestrian and bicyclist trail, adding to the California Coastal Trail Network and increasing safety for people who are out enjoying access along Highway 1. Just last month, we got the news that we will receive $1.7 million in grant money from the state for our Taylor Mountain Trails project. And this will complete the funding needed to construct 8 miles of multi-use trails, increasing public access to the 1,100-acre Taylor Mountain Park. How many of you have hiked up Taylor Mountain before? Raise your hand. Oh, wonderful. Good, about half of you. So between now and next year, the rest of you are all going to hike up to that top of the mountain, because it's really incredible, and the views from up there are really fabulous. And then this year is a very important year for our parks too. Anybody know what it is? It is the 50th anniversary of Sonoma County Regional Parks. Is that a parks table over there? I heard a little clap. All right, well, we're going to clap anyway. 50th anniversary. So you're going to see a lot of investments and a lot of celebration. And I think we have right now over 55 parks. We continue to add to that as we transition some of our open spaces into public parks. And so it's going to be a fun year. And while we are committed to building homes for people to live in and parks to play in, there's a third tier. And that is, of course, building our infrastructure, from improvements to transportation to making sure that our roads are safe. In 2016, we surfaced 70 miles of roads. And in the coming year, we are going to resurface another 97 miles. What the board did on putting general fund money into the roads, we couldn't do all the work and use all the money in this season. So some of that is spilling over into next season, believe it or not. The board has committed nearly $22 million to road improvements this next year, making us one of the top counties in California in the dedication of local dollars. In fact, there's only one city or one locality that has actually beat us, and that's the city of San Francisco. So we're doing pretty good. We still have a long way to go. We don't deny that. We've got a lot of roads that need our assistance. Phase 2 of the Highway 12 improvement project was completed this year. When Valerie Brown was on the board with me, we pushed forward, I think it was over $2 million on that project, and really used the very last of those wonderful redevelopment dollars, and Supervisor Gorin has continued to champion that cause. And now there are new roads, there are new sidewalks, curbs, and street lights in Agua Caliente to allow families and pedestrians and bicyclists to get around safely. As we continue to build, we equally encourage people to get out of their cars and get around. And so we're investing in transit and paratransit, transporting more than 4,500 people around Sonoma County on any given weekday. This year, we took on another pretty heavy lift, but we're confident that with our partners and with our schools, this is going to continue. And that is that we made free and discounted rides for students. Yeah, isn't that great? Frank, I saw you back there. The fact of the matter is that there's over 800 students that declare themselves homeless that go to Santa Rosa JC, which means they're couch surfing, they don't have a place to stay. Transportation, as we all know, it can be expensive, so giving them those free bus passes gets them to school and keeps them here and in our workforce, and we want them to be educated for our workforce. We also, and of course with the veterans, free bus passes, it's the least we can do in exchange for all they have done to support our freedoms. Woohoo, that's right. So a new record was set this year at the Sonoma County Airport with over 200, first I thought I said 2 million, no, 250,000 passengers traveling through, making a 30% increase since 2015. Thank you, John, wherever you are. And thanks for all the incredible service that we've had. We've actually expanded our service at the airport. We have a daily nonstop service to Orange County, twice a week service to Las Vegas, and we're looking forward to American Airlines beginning daily service to Phoenix this next year. And we are expanding, building parking, and building a new terminal also. So I don't know about you, but I was there a couple of times this last year, and man, it was bustling. And it was fun because I remember being there 4 years ago, and you see 3 people, right? And this time it's like, you're bumping into each other, you're all scrambling to get a seat at the bar, you're waiting in line to get checked. It was fun. And that's what we want. It was fun. So, So I think that the sign of the times is there for all of us to see in terms of the progress that we've made if we just think back where we were 5 years ago. Now, we are a board that's dedicated to building relationships, and some of our most important collaborators in the last year and in the years to come have been our cities. So if you're a city council member, I just want to acknowledge you, or a mayor right now, because you are our partners. I want you to all stand up. We're going to acknowledge you. So mayors and city council members, stand up. I see you back there, Tom. Rona Park in the back, yeah. I think one of the beauties that came out of the recession is that we realized we needed to do a better job of working together. And I believe that's exactly what we're doing. We took on some ambitious initiatives over this last couple of years, and one of them including the annexation of Roseland. And wow, to do that in a couple of years was truly amazing. There was a lot of dedication. I know Supervisor Carrillo and former Mayor John Sawyer were incredibly committed, and we did that. So that was not an easy lift. It involved a lot of finances, right, Cheryl and Sean, and yet we did it. We also formed a partnership with the HOST, which stands for, we use way too many acronyms in government. HOST stands for the Homeless Outreach Services Team. And after the county had kind of kicked this off, almost immediately the city of Santa Rosa jumped in and invested over $500,000. And it really is making a difference. And then also our newest industry, and I was asking Chris Silva earlier, why are we in wine country and we're not having mimosas at the state of the county? I mean, shouldn't we be having at least a little Corbel, and toasting ourselves? But we have another new industry here, and it's a green industry, and that would be, you're all already giggling, you all guessed it, the regulation of medical cannabis. I say medical cannabis because that's what we're doing right now, but a year from now it will be recreational cannabis. And I know that the cities and the county have been really scrambling to release regulations, zoning, permits, really to getting our house in order so that things go smoothly. And that means for the residential people who live in those rural neighborhoods too, which the board has fought to protect. So we know we get more done when we work together. I would also commend the Economic Development Board for building deeper relationships during the Year of the Entrepreneur. They brought together over 20 local business development organizations to link marketing and promotional efforts and business workshops, networking events, and inspirational talks. And then another relationship we worked to build in 2016 went all the way to the White House. And what we've experienced in the last week is something that we affectionately call now ARs, atmospheric rivers, pineapple expresses. They dump a ton of water on us, they cause the flooding, but they also fill our reservoirs. And in this last year, we were honored with an award at the White House for our project called FIRO, which is Forecast Informed Reservoir, Brad, I forgot the last one. Thank you, operations. Almost got it. But it really is about understanding when these storms are going to hit, how can we actually maintain our reservoirs at their fullest, and then how can we protect our residents in terms of the mitigating the damaging effects of floods that we've seen this last week. So, and then lastly, we are also continuing to build core services for our counties and communities' most vulnerable individuals and families. In 2017, we will continue our work of building bridges to increase access to those services. So last year, the Economic Assistance Division with our Human Services Department led an effort to help meet one of the most critical basic needs of our community, a program and programs that are very near and dear to my heart, and that is food insecurity, because even in this very rich county, there are so many families that suffer from food insecurity, and seniors and other vulnerable populations. So we got together, we figured out ways that we can get more people to enroll, and we collaborated with community partners, and we went out and connected them with the CalFresh Benefits program, which is essentially the new name for food stamps. But because of those efforts, and they are an economic investment too, because people spend more money on food when they do get on this program, over 2,700 low-income families, homeless, at-risk youth and adults now have increased access to food. We also opened a new department, the Independent Office of Law Enforcement Review and Outreach. that we worked on for, almost 2 years before we started that department. It is a pivotal, groundbreaking department for our county. It's building new relationships and new bridges with the community. It has met with over 250 individuals and groups to hear concerns and work towards peaceful solutions in Sonoma County. The behavioral health services teams are just par to none. The mobile support team responded to over 730 calls to provide field-based support to law enforcement officers. The Crisis Assessment, Prevention, and Education Team, otherwise known as CAPE, provided prevention and early intervention services to over 230 young people in our high schools and in the junior college. We have basically invested in these behavioral health services because they save people's lives. It's that simple. And in the case of the mobile support team, it does more. It also saves valuable hours for our law enforcement that they would otherwise have to take without that team of specialists and professional therapists that are there to assist in whatever that 911 call is. And then, believe it or not, we got the top technology award this last year at our county. I say believe it or not because when I actually got on the board 9 years ago, Paul Kelly and I were scratching our heads and saying, why don't the county board of supervisors have websites? Why don't we have that? Anyway, there was a lot of work to do, but since then I can just tell you we're in a whole different world these days than we were just 9 years ago. And we did rank #1 in the nation in counties our size for Digital County Survey, which is a very distinguished award, which really proactively uses technology to address our citizens' needs and expectations. We have a new program called Permit Sonoma. How many of you have been on Permit Sonoma or have used it? A lot of people have. It is a program that we launched through our Permit and Resource Management Department, and it's going to help track those permits online and make us more efficient. So those are just some of the ways we will continue to build Sonoma County. Our annual report, which I believe we have, there in the back, it's a calendar, and we hope you'll use it to plan your 2017 and to be able to read about some other things that we've done. And I'm going to finish by basically focusing on something that you probably have wondered why I haven't spoken about, because those people who know me know that I have spent many years, and I continue to, at the national level and the local level, taking care of our seniors. And I'm very passionate about serving our seniors because they are one of our county's biggest assets. And it has really befuddled me to see that we've had 2 presidential elections, of course, in the last 4 years, and a multitude of state elections, and nobody in Sacramento or in Congress are addressing really the widespread needs of our senior population. So I am proud to announce our board has officially proclaimed 2017 as Year of the Senior. I know. I don't worry. I'm not going to ask you all to stand up if you're over 55 and you're getting that AARP newsletter. I promise not to. I don't know why we're so sensitive about becoming seniors, though, because, as I always say, consider the alternative, right? You're alive, you're breathing, you're out in the world, and we should maintain people's quality of life, but we also need to recognize that seniors are an important part of our workforce, that they will need more services, and they volunteer like no other population. So with this initiative, it will include the development of new strategies, and we will be working with our cities to become age-friendly cities. And that means a lot of different things. It means, for one, that if you hit the crosswalk pedestrian countdown meter, you're going to get an extra 3 or 4 seconds and make it in time. Yes, I'm looking at Mayor McKenzie, and he's going, yes, yes. That's just one example. There's so many of them in terms of how we can do this. But we've got an incredible video to really tell the story. and I think you'll be delighted by it. So please play the video.
The first place we lived was LA County. And then our children started getting older and having their own children. And one of them moved here. And we never heard of it. He moved to a place called Sebastopol, which we had never heard of. Everybody had to go run and look it up in the dictionary. And we went up to visit him, and we liked it very much, and so we're all here. We came. Few years later, my daughter came. Now the grandchildren are here. So this is our home. It's a great year. It's going to be 2017. Hope it'll be more peaceful than 2016.
For me, mental health is one of the most important things. The older you get, the more you need to take care of that, because you become isolated from the society when you have any kind of mental problem. We cannot treat mental health as a crime. 2017, this year is going to be the year of the senior.
Me? I'm a senior? Technically, anybody over 60 is a senior citizen, but I think there's some stereotypes with that. 1 in 3 seniors work in the county, and some of them are entrepreneurs, employees at businesses. Someone such as myself that's a financial planner, I'm a senior citizen. It's 2017, and it's the year of the senior.
The numbers of seniors in our county have a significant effect on many kinds of decisions that are made, and certainly parks too. Seniors do play a big role in enjoyment of parks and sharing it with other generations. Yes, that is very happy 50th anniversary of regional parks, and may they continue for 50 more, many more. So it's 2017, the year of the seniors. That's pretty nifty.
There's 1,379 miles of road in Sonoma County. We've all complained about them, but we've made progress. In 2017, another 97 miles are scheduled to be paved. So don't worry, there's plenty of geezers like me around who will be leaning on them to make sure the rest of those roads are taken care of. 2017, that's the year of the senior. That's me.
And I think a lot of you identified some of those people that we all know and love so well, like Lucy Cordum and Bob Close. And I didn't know Barbara rode a motorcycle, but you know, you never know what you're going to do as you get over 50. I decided to start riding horses and riding road bikes. And we do need safe roads to be on those road bikes. And if you look around, most of the people on the road bikes too, they're men over 55, so it is a sport that a lot of older people take up for a lot of different reasons, and it's just fun also. We're gonna have a great year, and I say it's about time that it is the year of the senior. And I'm gonna close right now with one of my favorite FDR quotes. And he said this actually 80 years ago. The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have little. I promise you, this board will work hard on your behalf, and especially on behalf of those who have little. God bless you.
Good job, Shirley. Always lively, very, very inspiring, very exciting. And wasn't the video terrific? That'll be up on the website to watch. As you're getting ready to go, I want to thank our sponsors for making all this possible. At the presenting level, Exchange Bank, Kaiser Permanente, Luther Burbank Savings, Pure Luxury, Redwood Credit Union, Sonoma Raceway, and Tri-Counties Bank. At the foundation level, PG&E, and at the premier level, Bank of Marin, City of Santa Rosa, Sonoma Clean Power, Friedman Goldberg, and at the executive level, we have the list up there as well. Thank you all for being here this morning. Go out and make it a great year.